Welcome to your 4 to 5. We begin with a developing story. William Scott, the man accused of a shootout with Winston-Salem police, is now charged with murdering his mother, Kimberly Scott, and his grandmother, Glenda Corrier.
Police say he killed them before shooting at a police substation Monday. The chaos at the station followed a weekend filled with homicide investigations. Hours before Scott opened fire at the substation, police were asking for public help solving 3 fatal shootings.
Well, now Winston-Salem police are mapping out ways to overcome this rash of violence in the city.
WFNY News 2's Adoree Chumba joins us live. So Adoree, talk to us about what police know about the investigation into William Scott and what city leaders want us to do about the violence.
Investigators indeed believe that Scott killed his mother in Clemens and then his grandmother in Winston-Salem before heading to the substation, District 1 substation that is. And then they say he led them on a chase through to Haynes Park, where he continued shooting before they were finally able to put him into custody. Now, that incident on Monday is just the most recent in a series of gun deaths and violence in the city of Winston-Salem. So far, the department says they've had 19 fatal shootings this year. Police department leaders say they are prioritizing tackling gun violence. The department plans a real-time crime center and a shot spotter system in the coming weeks. Now, this complements programs that they already have in place, but Police Chief Katrina Thompson says the gun violence problem is beyond just the police.
We can't do it alone. It's not a police problem, it's a community problem. And it's going to take this whole community and communities across the country doing their part to address it. We're telling you what our part is. Now we want to know, what investment are other people willing to make to stop this crime?
Again, the Winston-Salem Police Department charged the suspect in that incident, William Scott, with murder in the death of his grandmother, while Forsyth County Sheriff's Office charged him with murder in the death of his mother. Now he is being held at the Forsyth County Detention Center without bond.
Adoree, thank you. WFNY News 2 uncovered William Scott's criminal history, and it dates back to at least 2011. He's been charged with resisting a public officer 3 times. He was charged with altering a gun by removing the serial number, and in 2016, he was convicted of assault inflicting serious injury after hitting a woman in a bar. Scott served time for that assault. When he was released, he served probation and did community service. This just into our newsroom. Police say it appears a tree fell on a man in Burr Mill Park. Officers were called to Burr Mill Park's Big Loop Trail yesterday morning. They say a man was found unconscious and he later died at the hospital. Authorities are still determining an official cause of death.
Right, we're switching gears now to your 4 to 5 roundup. President Joe Biden met face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Geneva, Switzerland today. The 2 leaders sat down at a time when relations between the 2 countries are at a low point. Among the topics on the table, nuclear arms control, Russian interference in U.S. elections, and cyber attacks. Russian-based hackers are blamed for 2 recent crippling cyber attacks targeting American businesses. Asked during his news conference about Russian involvement in the attacks, Putin said his country is facing similar threats. The meeting lasted a little over 3 hours. Israel launched airstrikes on the Gaza Strip early Wednesday morning. Now, this is the first flare-up between Israelis and Palestinians in several weeks since a major conflict in May in which hundreds were killed. The strikes are also the first under Israel's new prime minister, who ousted Benjamin Netanyahu from power just days ago. Tensions in the region remain high. And the United States purchased another 200 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. The drug maker made the announcement today. Moderna said the additional doses could be used to vaccinate adults or children, or possibly as a booster shot. The vaccine is currently authorized for ages 18 and older, but the company said last week it submitted a request to the FDA to expand emergency use to kids as young as 12. In total, the U.S. has now committed to buy 500 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine.
Well, you've just got to see the improvements to one of our local coronavirus metrics. The graph you're looking at shows the percentage of tests coming back positive in Guilford County. And if you look all the way at the end of that graph, the latest number is 1%. This is the lowest percent positive on record. The county has been doing really well lately. The number has been below 2% for 9 days in a row. Remember, the state's goal has been 5%, and that's the red line that you see right here through the middle. The county has not gone above that line in 2 weeks.
And school is out for the summer, but the district continues hosting COVID vaccine clinics. Today, Cone Health and North Carolina A&T partnered for a clinic at Dudley High School. And it wasn't your average clinic. There was food, music, giveaways, and even North Carolina A&T's mascot showed up for all the fun.
If you are active in any sports activities, you cannot play a sport if you're in quarantine or you're in isolation. You've been exposed to COVID-19. Over this last year, students have struggled with virtual learning. And so we are trying to make sure that we keep people in the classrooms and keep them in the classroom safe, provide an environment where students and the staff feel safe to be in that particular environment.
North Carolina A&T hosts pop-up clinics every week at the Alumni Center.
I tell you what, temperatures today felt great. You step outside, it was lower humidity out there, and you're looking at comfortable readings. I mean, we made it up. At one point, I saw an 81 here, so I know at least that will be the high temperature. We're at 80 right now, Raleigh and 83, Charlotte 83, Fayetteville 87. All these temperatures very comfy for this time of the year, but when you factor in that lower humidity, it makes it feel even better. How about Boone at 73? Imagine those beautiful hills up there, 73 degrees. That is nice stuff right there. Overnight lows tonight, 58. That'll be cool for us this time of the year. Mostly clear. Tomorrow, pretty much a repeat performance of today, mostly sunny and 83. Things will change for us by the weekend, and we're going to talk in just a few minutes about a tropical system that's not even on the map yet that we're forecasting and how that could affect our forecast.
We know that this pandemic has had lasting effects on our neighbors. In our state alone, more than 1.5 million people have applied for help after losing a job. Food banks have seen a huge increase in people needing their help, and community organizations are still stepping up. That includes Definition Church, and one step farther, I caught up with the team as they prepare for a food giveaway this Friday.
Walnuts at the end near the rice.
Susan Cox is directing an assembly line of volunteers, gearing up to feed hundreds of people in just 2 days.
And we are packing boxes, getting ready for our distribution this coming Friday.
Cox is the program director at One Step Further, a nonprofit with a plethora of programs. One of them helps with food insecurity.
Over the past year, especially with COVID, we saw about a 60% increase in the number of people that were seeking assistance. That number has gone down some with some of the benefits that have been provided. As those fall off, we know that that need will rise again. And so we are constantly adapting to the different needs.
The organization is teaming up with Definition Church to make this week's giveaway possible. Last year, the church helped provide 125,000 meals at the height of the pandemic. Pastor TJ Foster says they want to be a church of the city, and community partnerships make that possible.
The question we're always asking ourselves are, what are we going to do about it? And obviously, what would Jesus do, right? And so as a church, we want to make sure that we're helping people be with Jesus, become like Jesus, and do what he did. And this is one of a tangible way to meet a need in our community.
So that first food giveaway is this upcoming Friday. It officially starts at 11, but Pastor TJ told me that people usually start lining up as early as 9:30. I have Definition Church's address, more information about the giveaway, and how you can get involved and help on WFMYnews2.com. So I don't know if you caught this, but Definition is formerly Daystar Church. They're right there on Merritt Drive in Greensboro. 125,000 boxes of food given away during the height of the pandemic.
It never ceases to amaze me. I think we forget how bad the need is in this area. And a lot of us, I think, will think, you live in your own world and you sort of kick back a little bit and you're not really aware of it. And then when something like this comes up and you see how many people show up that actually need that, it's startling, actually.
And now that we're in the summer, the need is even greater with kids being out of school.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I know a lot of districts are providing lunches, but this is another resource family can use if they are in need of that food.
Right, and they're partnering with One Step Farther for these food giveaways. They also have some stuff coming coming down the road with a new community center that they're building on the Definition Church campus. But Pastor TJ said, we talk about being in a food desert. We wanted to stop talking about it and do something about it, and they certainly are here.
Well, and that's a basic need.
Yeah.
Once you get that taken care of, then other things can happen and people can develop their lives in other ways. But that is the most basic need that we have.
And they're looking for people to help serve. You don't have to go to that church. You don't even have to be a Christian. He said sign up on their website.
It's perfect.
Love seeing us all come together.
That's right. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a short break and we're coming. I'm sorry, did I step all over you, Maddie? Go
Always.
right ahead.
Ow,
Say something
you stepped
else.
on me. Y'all so silly. Ow. We'll be right back.
Kidding. I didn't
That's all
really
we had
do
to
that.
say.
They play a lot.
We do.
Hey, mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Cool.
Mic check Jalen. Mic check Jalen. Mic check Jalen. My mic's on. I hear you. You can hear me? I can't hear me. Hold on. You can hear me, so that's good. What you say, Tasha? I'm sorry. Is my mic on? My mic's still on. Can Facebook hear me? I think Facebook can hear me.
Well, NC State is heading to the College World Series this weekend for the first time in 8 years. A big accomplishment for the team. And WFNY News 2's Amanda Ferguson tells us how some familiar faces are playing on the big stage.
Yeah, Lauren, Omaha. It's the pinnacle of college baseball. You want to end your season there, and a bunch of Triad players are on their way with the NC State Wolfpack. We caught up with a few of them.
I think it says a lot about the Triad, just looking at not just our team.
8 guys from the Triad are on NC State's baseball roster. Junior infielder JT Jarrett and freshman left-handed pitcher Chris Villemin are 2 of them. Jarrett, a Northern Guilford alum. Villemin, a Ledford alum.
It's kind of cool.
There's so many good baseball players that come out of our area.
Jarrett winning a national championship with the Nighthawks. NC State's Cameron Cotter and Josh Pike were a part of that. Now they're going to try to do it again for the Wolfpack.
Not many people can say you won a state championship with a few guys in high school, and now you're going to Omaha together. So I think that kind of speaks for itself.
The Pack punching their ticket to the College World Series after beating the #1 team in the country, Arkansas, coming back from a 19-run loss in Game 1.
We're fighters.
Confidence might be through the roof right now after going to Fayetteville and winning that series. Going to Omaha, it's going to be an awesome experience and another road one, so maybe we'll stay hot.
The Wolfpack making their 3rd College World Series appearance. They have yet to win the whole thing.
For the guys who, never got the opportunity to play in Omaha here at NC State, I feel honored to go and represent them and represent this program. And, yeah, I'm just happy for this university and obviously my teammates and myself, and I'm just looking forward to this experience. I can't wait.
NC State is set to play Stanford on Saturday at 2 p.m. And head coach Elliott Avent was saying over the weekend that his favorite part about going to Omaha is seeing the faces of his players, like when they get in that stadium.
Imagine
It's
walking
cool that
into
Chad
that.
guys are going to be there.
I can't believe this is great. Obviously, we want to bring this home to our home state, but the fact that they've been there, what, 3 times you said, I think, and hadn't won it yet, they got to get this one.
I think it's pretty cool when one of the players was saying to win a state championship in high school with his teammates, and now they're going to Omaha. That's pretty amazing. Not
pretty
a lot of people
crazy.
can say that.
Well, I see all 3 of you at the table there. Warrior NC State Red. Thanks for giving Jalen and I
didn't get the
the
memo.
memo.
Totally
That's why
unplanned.
you guys are over there.
Yeah, we're in the penalty boxes.
We'll put you in the penalty box.
But just real quick to piggyback off of something Amanda was saying, this trip to Omaha and this trip to the College World Series is the culmination of a lot of hard work, pretty much a lifetime's worth of hard work for these young men. So to see those faces, the excitement, the joy, and just the pure elation just to even be there and have the opportunity to win a national championship is something that cannot be compared to in a sports in sports. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'll bet
Amanda,
their
the
parents
last
are real
time-
excited too.
Yeah, this team's hot right now, so hopefully they can keep it going on the road.
Maddie, what were you saying?
I was just saying, didn't you tell us the other day that the last time State won a national title in any sport was in the 80s, right?
83, in
83.
in a team sport. Yeah.
Wow.
Long
Very
time
cool.
coming.
They deserve
Overdue.
this one. And this is a Tar Heel saying these things, so
I'm not going to say a word because our director Brad's in there.
he'll cut our mics.
Yes, that's right. We'll take a short break and be right back. Go Pack. I said it, Brad.
Oh gosh, Eric, that might
I
be
know.
too far.
Don't be upset. Don't
I'm
fall over.
kidding. I'm kidding.
So think about this for a minute. Where do people in the Triad like to vacation? Where do we flock to in the summer? I'm sure places like Myrtle Beach or Asheville may come to mind, but there's one place that has seen a massive increase in visitors from the Piedmont, and I'll bet it doesn't even show up in your top 5 list. I spoke with Amanda Marr of the Sevierville, Tennessee Chamber of Commerce about what the big draw is for this vacation destination. Amanda, thanks for being with us today. You know, This is interesting to me because when you were talking with me about the numbers of people from the Triad that head there, you're seeing a trend. Tell me a little bit about that.
You know, we really are. We've seen about a 48% growth over 2019 in our guests that are coming from the Greensboro area and in the Triad. So, you know, it's a newer market for us, and I think people are really starting to discover what Sevierville and the Smoky Mountains have to offer. We're close by, like 4 hours, and you know, it's a great trip. There's always something new to see and do, and it's absolutely beautiful here.
You had me excited for a minute. I said 4 minutes. I'm gonna come there, have lunch with you, come right back.
4 hours.
I know, I'm just kidding.
It feels like 4 minutes, right?
Tell me about Sevierville and what is there. I mean, the first thing that always comes to mind with me is Dolly Parton.
Yeah, Sevierville is Dolly Parton's hometown. And of course, we've got her statue is downtown. It's been there since 1987, so that's a great place to go. You know, get a picture made and then stroll around, enjoy downtown, see some of the historical points of interest that are down there. We've also got some great murals that pay tribute to Dolly as well. So you can go down there and have a great time, enjoy a great meal or two. We've got some wonderful new restaurants down there, a great boutique hotel, a rooftop cocktail bar. So, but you know, there's also the great Smoky Mountains. There's shopping. We're very well known for shopping, especially high-end outlet shopping and unique quirky stores where you can buy everything from fossils to gemstones. So plenty to see and do here, especially if you're interested in shopping.
Well, this sounds awesome. I mean, obviously people from here are understanding it because you're seeing the numbers increase. Thanks for taking time today, Amanda. So first of all, I had to learn how to pronounce it because about half my life I thought it was Sevierville. It's Sevierville, Tennessee. And she said their numbers have jumped up anywhere between 26 and about 48% of people from the Triad going there. It's about a 4-hour ride.
That's not bad. So you don't have to pay for a plane ticket, want to make a quick weekend getaway. 4 hours, can't beat that.
Have you been there?
No, I haven't been there, but I feel like it's almost a pilgrimage to go see Dolly's Tennessee Mountain home.
I would love to see that. And then she said that, you know, they're kind of off camera. She was talking to me. She said, yeah, we are quaint, but the outdoor adventure kind of aspect of it, she said we have as much as anybody does when it comes to zip lining and all that kind of thing. Cool. And then in town, you still get a small town feel there. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say. They have the zip lining, and then you can also do some wine tasting, be a little low key. So stuff for the family and for the kids.
She said outdoor dining is a big deal in the downtown district, even though it's fairly small. And she said we pride ourselves on more than just Dolly Parton, but they have so many attractions there. It's very cool.
That. And a beautiful view. Mountains are gorgeous.
You're a Tennessee expert.
Yes. So I've been to Gatlinburg, which is near this area, and it's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So we got to make a trip out there this summer.
4 to 5 on the road. But we're staying
I've
right
been
here.
trying.
For about 2 years.
The pandemic really hurt us.
It did. We're coming back.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. So we all have that one slogan that really gets us through life. Things like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, or I like it takes more muscles to frown than to smile. You know, whatever the saying is.
Yeah, but Coach Lamont wants you to consider one well-known phrase in a different light in today's U-Day moment.
Repeat this phrase after me. It's not about how I start, but how I finish. Now never say that phrase again. Completely eliminate it from your mind. The reason? Because it has everything to do with how you began. You must understand that your start will determine your finish. The start is the process to establishing a foundation on which you will actually build your finish. Your finish cannot be withheld if your start is not identified. Without a start, you will never know when you arrive to your finish. Imagine a race. You're at the start line. The gun goes off. Do you just stand there, or do you run to the finish line? You run to the finish line. Get to your finish. There is a place that is expecting you, a place awaiting your arrival, but you cannot get there until you begin. So get on the mark, get set, go. Run your race. Start now and get to your finish. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best U-Day. I'll see you at the finish line.
We'll see you there. See you there, Coach.
Ready, set, go.
Yeah.
Ready, set, go.
I like it.
Dig it out. You know, I mean, everybody needs something to get them going. I'll have to say, phrases and sayings like that don't do as much for me as they do for some people. I like to write things down and keep it on my desk or keep it in my wallet. I've done that before, so I see it every time I open it up, which means I'm spending a lot of money apparently because I see it a lot during the day. But that works for me.
Yeah, and I like what he was saying about, you know, just get started, but it's important to know that you might have a shaky start, but as long as you finish strong. Like, we might have a newscast with mistakes, but as long as we keep going forward.
We have to keep going.
We have to keep going. There's still news to do.
And that the run your race tagline reminded me of something that one of our former coworkers used to say: stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Like, don't be drifting off into other people's races. Stay in your lane and focus on your finish line.
You know, something my dad did in his career, because he said, you know, when he was a teacher starting out, he wanted to be a superintendent eventually, so he drew a picture of a door with the glass, the frosted glass, like the old school thing, with it'd say Robert E. Chilton, school superintendent. And he kept that in his wallet, so he would see that picture as a motivator.
Just to keep reminding him.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
And he did it.
He did it.
And
yes,
he was great at it.
He was pretty good at that, I'll have to say. All right, we're coming right back. Stay there. I'm biased, but still.
Ace.
Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together like a classic combination.
Yes, I am. I am still here. I am still here.
Well, today we start with this number, 45, because federal lawmakers allotted $45 billion to the Emergency Rental Assistance Program to help folks who were impacted by the pandemic pay their rent and utilities. 2 Months to Know's Tanya Rivera is giving us a closer look at how that money's being used here.
And the federal government gave states the money, and then they figured out how it would best make it work for the residents.
That's right. So North Carolina, they have their own way of doing it, and that means that the money isn't available all through one place, right? Not everybody can apply the same way. So let me show you this map. The counties in blue, they're all operated by the state's HOPE program. The counties in gray, they're operated by the city or county governments. And you can see like Guilford, Forsyth, Mecklenburg, Wake, just to name a few, are the local spots.
Right, but just to make sure everybody understands, if you live in Alamance County and you need help, you need to apply for the HOPE program.
Right, and if you're in Greensboro or Guilford County, you need to apply to whatever boundary you're in, okay? Either Greensboro or Guilford County.
All right, so that's the key point, right?
Yeah.
You can't apply for help in both the city and the county.
Right, there's no double dipping there. It all comes out of one pot, all right? So, and just recently, for example, the city of Greensboro got more money to help folks. So I wanted to show people what that looked like as well. So far, the federal emergency rental assistance money has helped more than 1,000 Greensboro households pay more than $4 million in unpaid rent and utilities. Now, another 4,926 households are still waiting for their applications and their money to be processed, but that's coming along. So here's something else to note. The cities and the counties, they have different eligibility requirements to give help. And so I wanted you guys to kind of look at this chart. So I got it up behind us, all right? So it's a big old chart, right? That you have to be making 80% or less of the household median income.
So Tanya, I know you dug into these numbers. A family of 4 living off $53,000 or less can be eligible.
Right, and so it kind of goes as a sliding scale, folks, if you can see it at home, from 1 person in the household all the way down to like 8. So there is a little bit there of a sliding scale. And depending on where you live, it is a sliding scale as well. So let's go back to the state map, okay? So you got this HOPE program here, right? The HOPE program, the eligibility was 50% of the income. Now it has moved to that 80%, just like Greensboro and Guilford County. So that's going to include a whole lot more people.
That's a big jump, and it's great news for folks who really do need help paying bills, and the landlords as well.
Absolutely, and we've got all of this in the 2 Wants to Know section. So I want you to go and click there so that you can see your county and your median income and see if you are able to get help.
Thanks.
Very cool. Guilford County now has a behavioral health crisis center, which will serve around 4,000 people each year. The facility, located on 3rd Street in Greensboro, provides mental health urgent care as well as physical and emotional health services. Substance abuse cases will also be treated at the facility. There are 2 16-bed crisis centers, one for adults and another for children. Anyone seeking help can stay for up to 5 days. Guilford County commissioners say the Family Justice Center helped influence the development of this facility.
For many years, behavioral health was a stigma. People didn't want to, identify that there was an issue. And, if you look at it from a total health standpoint, this facility will be able to offer physical health and mental health treatment at the same time.
Purdue explains how the county was using a lot of resources to address mental health emergencies at emergency rooms and how this facility can help ease the pressure on hospitals.
By treating both the physical and mental health capabilities, we could reduce that time that a police officer had to sit inside the emergency department. We could reduce that traffic that's going to the emergency department that didn't need to be there, needed another avenue of service.
The Adult Center opened Monday. They'll welcome the youth services in the next 2 weeks.
Let's turn now to more headlines in your 4 to 5 roundup. A suspect in a police shootout in Winston-Salem is now facing murder charges. Police say William Scott killed his mother, Kimberly Scott, and his grandmother, Glenda Corrier. They believe Scott killed the women at their houses before he fired shots into the Winston-Salem Police Department's District 1 building on Monday afternoon. Now, Scott was shot by officers, but he's since been released from the hospital. 3 officers who were involved in the shooting are on administrative duty, and the SBI is now investigating. A wild scene in a Cleveland courtroom when a relative of a victim charged the suspect. A judge acquitted Tavon Biles Thomas of murder. He was facing charges related to the deaths of 3 men shot at a New Year's Eve party in 2018. Now, this case is making national headlines because Biles Thomas is the brother of Olympic gymnast Simone Biles. A bill to make Juneteenth a federal holiday passed unanimously in the U.S. Senate on Tuesday. Now the bill will head to the Democratic-led House, where it will likely be approved. The bill would make Juneteenth the 12th federal holiday. This day represents when the last enslaved black people in Galveston, Texas, learned on June 19, 1865, that they had been freed by the Emancipation Proclamation. Juneteenth has already been commemorated in 49 states, along with the District of Columbia. And are you looking to strike up some fun? Bourbon Bowl in downtown Greensboro is now open for business. You might remember we got a first look at the business back in early May. The owner said he needed a full staff before he could open this bowling alley restaurant bar hybrid, and they could roll out the welcome mat to customers. According to the business's Instagram and Facebook pages, they are now open 7 days a week.
Well, you know, we noticed the lower humidity today. We'll probably see that again tomorrow, but that will soon change, especially by the time we get to the end of the work week. And we'll talk about that in a minute. I want you to look at this. We're watching the Gulf this week. There's a 70% chance that this system you see in the Gulf, right, way down there at the southern tip of the Gulf, will develop into a tropical system. What that ends up being remains to be seen, whether it be just a storm or some sort of hurricane category. But in the next 5 days, there's a 90% chance of development. We're watching this because the possibility that could lift north and maybe move, onshore around the northern Gulf coastline. But then we've seen this before, haven't we? When a cold front comes in, it just pushes all that moisture our way, and we can get some severe flooding as a result of that. Now, it hasn't even developed yet, but it is something that we're watching, and we'll keep you posted on that. We're at 80 degrees here in the Triad, and tonight we'll see us drop down to that 58-degree, very comfortable overnight low. That'll be your step-out temperature tomorrow morning, and then we'll make it up to 83 with mostly sunny skies and good conditions. You look at our long-range forecast, we've got a hot couple of days, Friday, Saturday, 88 and 92. Father's Day, 85 with an isolated storm chance. We'll hold that Monday, Tuesday with an increased chance of rain, just in case that tropical system develops, and we'll be here to keep you posted on that.
And now at 4, Governor Roy Cooper recently introduced a new grant that will make attending community college a lot easier for our 2021 high school graduates. WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey went to Rockingham Community College to learn how this new grant will impact prospective students.
Yeah, this is super cool. Our state recently received nearly $138 million in aid from the governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund at the beginning of this year. So Governor Cooper and the North Carolina Community College System created the Long Leaf Grant. This grant allows students 2 years of free tuition to any North Carolina community college as long as they graduated from a North Carolina high school in 2021.
Well, this is great. I've never seen anything like this. I've been with a community college for about 15 years. I've never in my life seen anything on this scale.
You must apply to your local community college, and you must complete the FAFSA. Even if you think you won't qualify for the financial assistance, you must complete the FAFSA to be eligible for the Long Leaf Grant.
This is a 4-semester program. So here's the biggest thing students need to know. You must start fall 21. It is only guaranteed for students starting in the fall of 21 at a North Carolina community college.
Eric Satterfield is the Director of Enrollment Services at Rockingham Community College. He says, although this is for all 2021 graduates, you need to act fast in order to take full advantage of this opportunity.
Several steps you need to do. First off, you need to apply to Rockingham Community College or your local community college. Apply. That's the first thing. You've got to apply. Second thing is you've got to complete the FAFSA. FAFSA.gov to complete the FAFSA. If you're a senior in high school, your high school counselor should have talked about this nonstop, but every high school senior needs to do the FAFSA.
And although most students will qualify, there are some things you must do to be eligible. And that biggest one, of course, is to complete the FAFSA, like Derek mentioned in our piece.
Yeah, so this is great because we have so many great community colleges across the state, but especially here in the Triad.
I think that this is good for students that might be on the edge, like, should I go to school, should I not? This might be that incentive to give them that push to go to school.
Man, I personally attended a community college. I know it is the more affordable route for a lot of people, and for this opportunity to be presented in our state, not only does it keep our great academic talent here as well, but it also allows an opportunity for those that might not have been able to attend a university or a college to do so.
And so those who do the 2-year program, they could eventually transfer to a 4-year school. So I think that's what's really great about this as well.
Absolutely, Derek and I spoke about that as well. They have many programs in our community college system that not only you can get an associate degree and then transfer to a 4-year college if you like, but they also have programs that has job training and that can also enhance your marketability for a job market.
And I'm sure completing a 2-year degree at a community college makes you a much more desirable candidate to
Absolutely.
a 4-year university because they see your progress in a college-like setting. So, I mean, I'm all for community colleges. I think especially we expect so much of high school seniors to know exactly what they want to do and where they want to go as soon as they graduate. And this is just time to focus on studying and figuring out exactly what you want to do. Maybe that leads to the workforce. Maybe it leads to more education.
Fill out that FAFSA.
Fill out
You don't want
that
to wait till the last minute to do that.
It
I
is
know from experience.
daunting.
Yeah.
You got this. All right, the 4 to 5 side to break. We're live on Facebook though, so come chat with us. Especially we just received some heart-wrenching breaking news. The Guilford County Sheriff's Office says a Triad police officer's child is dead. Deputies responded to a shooting at a house in Whitsett this morning. They say the child was shot and later died at the hospital. Guilford County Sheriff Danny Rogers says the child belongs to an Elon police officer. He says that officer was not home at the time of the shooting, and investigators did not say what led up to the shooting. This sad story is still developing, and we will bring you more details on air and online.
Hello? Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. All right. All right. I didn't know the mic wasn't working there for a second, folks. Sorry about that. 80 degrees in Greensboro, 82 in Winston-Salem. We've got High Point at 85. I was saying hello to everyone because I didn't know. I just heard music, so I thought it was time to go. 83 in Walnut Cove, 81 in Reedsville, 79 in Martinsville. I've been trained. When I hear that music, I just back out. Here's what we have across the region. Pretty clear right now with a big ridge of high pressure over us. It is staying exactly where it is, keeps the rain away. In fact, you have to go really south of the Grand Strand in South Carolina to see any rain that will amount to anything, it looks like. Now, when you see this high pressure, it becomes centrally located over us for the next 24 hours or so. Looks good tomorrow, but look what happens once we get into Friday. We're going to watch this system in the Gulf. We mentioned this a short time ago. That's a low pressure system that is forecasted to develop into some sort of a tropical system, whether it's a storm or a hurricane, and that could be pushing in our direction from the southwest by the beginning of next week. We're going with sunshine and low 80s tomorrow, upper 80s and low 90s Friday, Saturday. We'll watch that Monday, Tuesday time period to see how heavy those rains will be for us.
Tasha, what time is my hit? I apologize. Sounds good, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I will be there in 7 minutes.
That's nice.
There you go. There he is.
Yeah, I must have, or had it in mute or something. I don't remember doing that, but I must have. Oh, I know what it was, because I could hear my mic in that chat as I was working on the weather computer when I asked Tosh to take me out of that. So I had. You know, it seems like every town, no matter how big or small, prides itself on a downtown district or some couple of things in that area. But one triad town now has some brand new bragging rights. I spoke with Jill Weston of Reedsville's Downtown Corporation about their award from Main Street America. Take a look. Well, Jill, this is quite the award. This is very cool. How excited are you guys about this, and what is this award all about?
Yeah, this is really exciting for Reedsville. The Reedsville Downtown Corporation was formed in 1976, and we have only had this accreditation since 2019, so it's a big deal. Main Street is an organization that supports revitalization of downtowns like ours, and we are thrilled to be accredited during a COVID year.
Yeah, you know, I didn't even think of that. It's probably a bigger deal last year. So what have you guys done to get this award? Apparently you have to do a lot of revitalization in that downtown district.
Yes, actually, you have to reach several goals. You have to have a work plan and certain committees in place. You have to really be organized, and they have to know that you have a focus and a mission. There's all these things you got to check off the box and turn in all your statistics. So it really is quite a lot of work, but the organization is so important for little downtowns like ours because they give us so many resources to help us grow and rebuild our beautiful downtown.
So what's the feel of downtown Reedsville? I guess why you won the award. What do you want people to take away from the area?
You know, I've been here just under a year working for Reedsville, and I have never seen such a sense of community like I see here. The business owners, the community, people that work and live here, they love Reedsville, and everybody wants to see our downtown grow and revitalize and get our buildings looking beautiful. And if you come downtown, you will see there's a lot going on. We actually had several businesses open during COVID, and I think that's a testament to how people believe in our downtown.
Well, it's a great honor, Jill. Thanks for your time today. Best of luck in downtown Reedsville. Such a cute town. My band just played there Saturday night, and they're always nice. They're super nice people there.
Yeah, the first time I went to downtown Reedsville, it was for snow coverage, and it was like 3 a.m. And it was beautiful, though. It was almost like a little fairy tale land out there because the snow is covering everything. I have a soft spot in my heart for small town, hometown, downtowns.
I remember when you did that.
I haven't been there yet, but the pictures did look super, super cute.
It is, and the thing that they pride themselves on is, you know, I mean, yes, it's a small town, but they have such a quaint feel to the downtown district. She said she wants people to go away from downtown Reedsville thinking, that is such a great little cute place. I want to come back with my family, spend more time here.
I was impressed with the fact that she said they were able to open more businesses during the pandemic, when we know several people have had to close businesses.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have such small town pride, and they want to see their area succeed, and this is definitely happening in Reedsville.
It's very cool. All right, so I asked you on Facebook, I said, what is your favorite part of your city's downtown district? And Don here said the soda shop and the vinyl shop outside of the Circle, and let's not forget the old movie theater. He's talking about Graham there. MD Moore says, and I agree with this, I love this part, the architecture of the older buildings is so cool, and sometimes you can't even see that anymore these days in new construction because it would cost too much. Linda must be from Burlington. Yeah. She says, Zach's Hot Dogs, I've been there many times. Gary says, Snappy Lunch in Mount Airy, a true legend of a diner thanks to the Andy Griffith Show, plus that pork chop sandwich, people. Need we say more? Now that's something you have to do. I know you haven't
on
done
the
that
list.
Yet.
Yeah, Mayberry for sure. We need to take her there, actually. We've really let her down by not doing that.
We have to.
Sorry.
So by the end of the summer.
By the end of the summer.
So we're just going to have this huge road trip going to all these different places.
As much as we talk about where we're all going and doing, yes, that's
Who's
true.
paying for this?
Don't look at me, don't look at me. Got to call the boss real quick.
You're the boss as far as I'm concerned.
I wish. We actually should do that, and we'll document it, right? We'll do our cell phone videos and then edit all that together. We'll create our own little movie about introducing you to the Triad.
I will let you guys take the reins on that one, and I will follow along happily.
That will be fun.
Sounds like a plan.
So my question to you is it food first? Are we doing food across the Triad, or are we doing like attractions?
Food, of course.
Okay, that's what I was
So
hoping.
then we can have the energy to do the attractions.
Or we'll sleep if we go to all these places and eat pork chop sandwiches. And yeah, that's what will happen.
All right, we're going to make a list. Facebook, share your recommendations
Please.
with us. We would love to see those.
We are following breaking news coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock. A child is found with a gunshot wound in Guilford County and has died. Investigators say the victim is a child of an Elon police officer. We will have the latest on this breaking situation with a live report in Whitsett coming up next on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock.
At least 14 states. At least 14 states and Washington, D.C. have hit President Biden's goal of having 70% of adults at least partially vaccinated by Independence Day.
Hello, I wish I could have as much fun as the 4 to 5 crew. They're always laughing and singing.
When I saw you, and I was like,
Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. I need to figure out where I put my.
Hi there, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas.
Guilford County Sheriff's Office says that victim is the child of an Elon police officer who was not home at the time. This morning, investigators charged William Scott with 2 counts of murder. They believe Scott killed.
It's time for my 2 cents. Scrolling through my Instagram timeline, I see a lot of motivational and inspirational quotes, but there was one that recently stuck out to me. Strive for progress, not perfection. Do you ever have those moments when you feel like you're not enough or you just aren't hitting the mark, like you feel the need to be perfect? I think this is something all of us have struggled with at one time or another. Feeling like we must be the best student, the best employee, or maybe even the best parent or child. Through my own life experiences, I've come to realize that perfection is not obtainable. If being perfect is your life goal, no matter how well you do, you will always feel like it's just not enough. Though it's good to be motivated and want to excel, seeking perfection in all situations can sometimes do more harm than good. Striving for perfection can create unnecessary and added stress, leaving you burnt out or maybe even throw in the towel altogether. It also can cause you to get in your own way. You may be too afraid to take risks or dare to dream in fear that you won't be good enough. Be kind to yourself and give yourself a break. As long as you're trying your best and progressing each and every day, that's what counts. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
We begin with breaking news in Guilford County, where Guilford County Sheriff Danny Rogers says an Elon police officer's child has died after being shot in Witsit.
WFMY News 2's Grace Holland is at the scene. Grace, what can you tell us?
The Guilford County Sheriff's Office is continuing to investigate after that child of an Elon police officer was shot. There's still a lot of details we don't know. We don't know the age or the name or the gender of that child, but we do know that officers arrived here around 7:30 this morning. EMS transported the child from here once they realized there was a gunshot wound to a hospital. It was there that the child died. Now, this investigation is continuing, and at this point we still don't have a statement from Elon Police on this investigation. We will continue to keep you updated on air and online.
Grace, thank you. The man accused of shooting into a Winston-Salem Police Department substation is now charged with murdering his mother and grandmother.
The string of shootings happened Monday, ending in a shootout with police. WFMY News 2's Adoria Chumba has more on the latest charges.
This morning, investigators charged the suspect 26-year-old William Scott with 2 counts of murder. They believe Scott killed his mother in Clemens and then his grandmother in Winston-Salem. Now, Scott was already charged with attempted murder of a law enforcement officer stemming from a shooting and chase on Monday. Police say Scott shot several rounds into the District 1 police substation using a semi-automatic rifle. Investigators say he then led officers on a chase and a shootout in Haynes Park. Scott is in jail right now without bond. And Monday's incident brings the total gun deaths in Winston-Salem to 19. The police department leaders say they have put so many resources into quelling the gun violence, and they also laid out their plan for tackling the gun violence from now. They're bringing a real-time crime center and ShotSpotter system on board in the coming weeks. Winston-Salem Police is also adding more resources to the violent firearms investigation teams and the gun crime reduction unit. On top of that, they have all these other anti-violence efforts with the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office as well as the ATF. But Police Chief Katrina Thompson says criminals are getting bold because people in the community aren't speaking up, and she's frustrated about that.
If they came to the police department and shot up the police department, the substation, if they're shooting at officers, you know what they will continue to do to citizens in our community. We got to work together, Winston-Salem, to solve violent crime in our community. If there's something else you know that we can do, tell us what it is. We want it to end. I live in Winston-Salem.
Again, investigators have charged the suspect William Scott with two counts of murder in the case of the death of his mother in Clemens and his grandmother in Winston-Salem. He'll remain at the Forsyth County Detention Center without bond.
Thanks, Adore. And the family released a statement earlier this morning. It reads in part, "Words cannot convey the heartache and shock we feel at all that has taken place. Our pain is compounded by the circumstances surrounding our loss. While we may never know all the reasons why this has happened, we can say that we now know, now more than ever, the agony and heartbreak that failing mental health can bring to a family."
William Scott's criminal record dates back a decade. Court documents show he has a felony charge for removing the serial number on a gun. And in 2016, he was convicted of assault. His victim told us that he hit her in a bar, breaking her cheek, nose, and chipping her teeth. He served probation and community service for that crime. Records also show he was charged with resisting an officer several times. This is a developing story. We will continue to bring you the very latest information on air and online on WFMYnews2.com.
We have new information about a man who died at a popular Greensboro park. Police say it appears the man was hit by a falling tree. It happened yesterday morning while the man was walking along the Big Loop Trail at Burmill Park. The park is still closed.
Well, 2 Wants to Know is looking at a change that will help more folks pay their rent and utility bills and then give landlords the money that they are owed. Right now, in every North Carolina county, there are emergency rental assistance programs to help folks impacted by COVID pay their rent and utilities. The counties